Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Truth Bombs. I was just making sure that we are indeed going live after all of the problems that we had last week, but it looks like we are here and online. Welcome. Hi, Greg. Excited about this week's topic because it's just really fun. And when you look at the whole concept of spirituality, it makes sense. This week, we're talking about numerology. And if you've ever heard the term angel numbers, how do they relate? What's their connection? So just waiting for a few more to join, and then we'll get started. Hi, Danny. Hi, Julie. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. How's everyone enjoying this actual winter we're having this year? I know in Ohio, it's actually snowy for the first time in many years, and it's sticking around for a while. So hopefully everyone's staying in safe and warm. All right, numerology. What's numerology? So numerology is the idea or the concept that numbers 1 through 9 have a vibration to them, an energetic quality of vibration. And Pythagoras, the Greek mathematician, actually started developing this concept when he was looking at how numbers react vibrationally when applied to music. So when he began discovering the numerical relationship between numbers and musical notes, that's when he noticed patterns and distinct qualities of the vibrations for these individual numbers. And ever since then, people have developed this whole science behind the numbers in our birth date, the numbers in our name. I've done numerology on my house numbers before. Everything, we believe and we agree that there's no coincidences, and if everything has an assigned energetic quality, applying that to numbers and where they show up in all of the different ways they show up in our lives makes all of the sense. Hi, Gail. Thanks for joining. Hi, everyone. All right. So if numerology upholds the notion that each number is connected to a certain vibrational energy or frequency, beyond its just sheer numeric value, then angel numbers are how often those numbers show up. And so we've talked about this in previous shows where our guides will send us 444, or we'll see 44 3 times in a day. Those repeating numbers are what are called angel numbers. So they take the numerical energy qualities of numerology and the vibrations there, but when they show up for us as an angel number, it takes a little bit different quality. But mostly, as we've said in the past, it's the angels and our guides' way of saying, hi, we see you, we hear you. Here's a little bit more depth into the messages that we have for you right now. So tonight we're going to kind of go through and do an overview of some key phrases for each of the numbers. And then I'll walk you through an exercise on how to actually calculate your own destiny and life path numbers. So in numerology, there are a lot of different equations that you can work on. And each one means just a little bit different. Now, here's the thing that I'm noticing. There is a plethora and abundance of free content online for you to be able to do some of your own exploration and some of your own calculations. But none of it is quite 100% consistent. To me, it's not quite as bad, but it's almost like gemstones. Depending on who you ask about the qualities of a crystal or a gem, their definition is going to be a little bit different than the next person. And I've noticed the same thing about herbology too. So I think some in every case, some of those prime instances are the same across the board, but someone's always going to have their own little bit of filter on it. So definitely go out and explore. I encourage you to. I'll share some resources here throughout the show. And just see what resonates with you. If you calculate your life path number, but it just doesn't mean anything to you, it doesn't feel right to you, then our number one rule is take what you feel and leave the rest behind. So there's no judgment there. So just keep in mind that the information that I've collected tonight is to the best of my current knowledge, but I'm forever a spiritual student. So I may learn something down the road that shifts my opinion, but this is how I know of it today. So numerology isn't necessarily something that would use to dictate your future. It's not a divination tool in a sense where it's going to predict certain scenarios or situations that you're going to come into. What numerology is better suited for is learning more about you at a soul level and your current place in your journey. There are a number of places that numbers will show up. There are calculations for your life path, for name numerology, for your soul urge number, expression number, birth date number, numerology and compatibility, you and a best friend or a partner, and then your destiny or your life purpose number. So all of these, depending on, have different sequences and combinations using things like your birth date that will show up for you and give you a little bit more insight into what you might be coming up in this life for you. So there are two types or two groups of numbers in numerology. There's your single digits, which is your 1 through 9. And then you have 3 master numbers that, depending on the equation, if you receive an 11, a 22, or 33, you wouldn't reduce those down. So just put a pin in that for a second. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Just keep in mind that 11, 22, and 33 are considered master numbers and may not always reduce down. So tonight we're going to calculate our life path numbers, which will use our birth date, and I'll show you how to do that and give you an exercise on that. And then we're going to calculate what I know as the destiny number, depending on who you ask or where you look. The equation or the definition of the destiny number is a little bit different, but I've heard the destiny number referred to as the expression number, the way that you express yourself, and also your name number, because that's how we're going to be calculating the destiny number tonight, is based on the numeric values of the letters in your name. And I've got an example for that too. So at any time tonight during the show, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away, as always. If there's something that I'm not covering that you'd like to know more about, shoot over a question and, let me know. And we'll see what I can do there. So Emily says, the one who has a repetition number. Oh, very good. So Numerology and Angel Numbers. Very good, Emily. Yes, absolutely. The replay of this will actually be available on the Psychics Unite YouTube channel. So if you just go to YouTube and you search Psychics Unite, this video will be uploaded by later on tonight, and be able to find us there. So, and then if on the replay, anyone watching this, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at Devin Evans Psychic Medium on Facebook. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll go into and we'll start to calculate the life path number. And then that way you've got your number, and I'll do a quick read through of the qualities and the vibrations of each number 1 through 9. And then we'll talk about some of the resources. If you want to read more into it, there's so much more than what I'm giving you here just tonight. So we'll do the calculations, and then you'll have the numbers that we can share and compare. I would suggest that nobody actually post their birth date in the comment section just for security purposes, because that's often like a security question for some of our more private accounts. So just kind of keep that to yourself. And if you have any questions after the show, or if you want to do like a one-on-one, we can schedule some time together there. Okay, so here is, and I hope everyone can see that. Oh my gosh, it's so small. I don't know that I can make it any bigger. I can't. So let me know if you have any problems reading that. I can paste it directly into the chat. But basically, this is an example of a birth date, and this is how we're going to calculate our life path number. Now, the life path number reveals your greater purpose. So this is kind of like, it feels a little bit different than, I guess it's the same thing as like soul purpose, but your life path number is basically going to give you a little bit more insight into the qualities of the events that you have chosen or selected for this lifetime. So, and the whole idea of reincarnation, and that we, for each different life, have like different qualities or events or life lessons that we want to learn or experience. This will give you an indication on what's coming up for you for this lifetime. Sure. Sorry, Candy. No, it's very tiny. I have it huge on my screen, but then in PowerPoint, it makes it so small. Give me 1 second. I'll just copy and paste it. I've been told I make funny faces while I work at the computer. You guys can all confirm that for me. It's coming. Sorry, it didn't post nicely, but we'll just try and get along with it here. Basically, the whole concept in numerology is you're taking numbers and you're adding the individual numerical components to one another. So like in the example that I just posted in, I just posted in the chat, is that for a birthday of January 1st, 1999, you would actually add the 0 to the 1 to the 0 to the 1 to the 1 to the 9 to the 9 to the 9. So you're not adding 1, you're not adding 0, 1 plus 0, 1 plus 1999. It's very important that, because I don't think they always match up, and you're supposed to take each individual number and add it to the next one, kind of like putting letters together in a sentence. And so what we want to do is we want to reduce this all the way down to one single digit. So then in this example, the numbers of this birth date add up to 30. And then obviously we all know that 3 plus 0 equals 3, but just for example's sake, here's 3 plus 0, and then we have a life path number of 3. And we'll review that in a minute, what that means if you end up getting a life path number of 3. So if you have a pen and paper, or if you have a calculator on your phone and you want to do this along with us, this would be a good time to start putting together your birth dates. Like for August 27th, 2003, it would be 0 plus 8 plus 2 plus 7, like this. Again, the funny faces. So that's another example of how you would take August 27th, 2003 and reduce that down to one number for a life path calculation. Any questions? I know not everyone enjoys math. I don't necessarily enjoy it either. But numerology is just so much fun because you get to have those insights into different components or aspects of yourself that you may not just see every day of your life as you're going through things. And then I have heard, now keep in mind, if your birthday reduces down to 11, 22, or 33, that's technically a master number. Now, I've heard some people say that master numbers aren't applicable for the life path equation. So I'm a little unclear on whether to reduce those numbers down or not. But then, try it both ways and see which one resonates more with you. So then for the person who's got 34, you want to add the 3 plus the 4. You want to get it down to one number. So then, in the second example I gave for August 27th, I got 22. So this little equation here that I gave you, when you calculate it, you actually get 22. So just out of experimentation, you can either reduce the 22 down to 4, because 2 plus 2 equals 4. Or since 22 is a master number, you can see if that also resonates with you, and which you like better. Because I've seen it written 2 different ways depending on the author. So I think it's one of those where you've really just got to look into yourself to find out the right path for your life path number. We're all about paths tonight. We're all taking a big journey. Awesome. So like if you've got your original number, so you'll have to add it a couple times. So then let's do this. Here's the birth date in the original example. And then what that equates to is adding each number singularly to itself, like this, which will give you the number 30. Okay? So this reduces down to this. And then you're going to take that 30 and you're going to reduce it down to a single number still, which will look like this. So then in the example that I have up on the screen, that'll be a life path number 3. Awesome. Awesome, Linda. Very good. Hold on to that for a second. We'll find out what that means here in a minute. All right. How's everyone doing? So, Ingrid, that's a great question. So 11, 22, and 33 are what we call master numbers. So yes, in some equations, these would not reduce down. Once you hit 11, 22, or 33, you would stop there because they have energetic qualities of their own. Now, in this case, in the life path number, I have seen 2 different definitions. I've seen some say that the master numbers apply. So if you get an 11, that could apply in the life path. But I've also seen some who say that life path numbers do not apply. Master numbers do not apply for the life path equation. So I would, for tonight, just for experiment, check in with, when we review all the numbers and do a brief description of their qualities, see which one resonates more with you, 11 or 22, when it comes to your life path. Yep, so 34 would reduce down to 7. Very good. Looks like we're all getting it. We're getting down to those single-digit life path numbers. I think I'm a life path 3. I'm a life path 3. Cool. Yep, you guys are getting it. Very good. Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. All right, hold on to those numbers. We're going to calculate our destiny number real quick. And then at the end, I'll go through and highlight the qualities of each number for each. So our life path dictates what things or what themes we might have in this lifetime, and some of the underlying qualities of where we're going in the events in this life. Okay. So, so if the life path reveals your greater purpose, then the destiny number, which we're about to calculate, offers insight into how you will express yourself. So, we'll get to that. And so let's go ahead and move on to that. This, I'm really hoping is easier to see because it's going to be harder to paste. I'll tell you what I'll do instead. Give me 1 second. I didn't think through the screen size. It's gonna have to bear with me and my funny faces. I know, guys. Hold on just a second. This one's got a chart. And I'm just going to make it big enough that we can all see. While you guys are finishing up your life path numbers. All right. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Can you guys see that okay? It's a little bit, it's still a little bit small, especially if you're watching on a phone. But basically, for our destiny number, we are going to calculate using our full name. And each letter in our name has a numerical value. And so this chart shows you 1 through 9 at the top. And literally, it just goes across A, B, C, D, E, F, G, down through the alphabet. Thanks for confirming, Damaris. I appreciate that. I can't make this. I don't think I can make this any bigger. Oh, hey, there we go. There we go. That should be big enough then. Okay, perfect. So this is the chart that you're going to use to calculate your full name. And I'll post the example that I wrote up in the chat like I did the birth date. So I made up a fictitious name. Well, at least to me, it's fictitious. She may actually reside somewhere in the world because there are no coincidences. But I have come up with the name Amy Lynn Scott, and her maiden name is Ness. So I threw that in there because I want us all to use the name that's on our birth certificate. So if you usually go by a nickname, we'll touch on that in just a minute. It is your birth name. Yep. So anything that's on your birth certificate. So like Evans is my married name. I would actually calculate using my maiden name, my original name. So the easiest way to do this is if you, let's see if I can do this here. Insert. And I'll bring that back in just a second, guys. I just wanted to show you an example of how you can line up the letters of the name. You might need a piece of paper for this one. And I'm using Ness because that's Amy's maiden name. And you've got the number assignment for each letter, and you can total that up. Okay. So let me move back to the chart so everyone can see that. And let's see. I'm going to calculate mine as well. So we got 4 plus 5 for my name. 4, 9. And use middle names too. Okay, so my first number is 65. I'm going to add the 6 plus the 5, and that gives me an 11. Yeah, Candy, I can send it later. Is that better, guys? I think that's about as big as I can get it to fit it all on one page on my screen. It's going to be a bit of a trick for anyone watching this on a phone, and I apologize, but you can also, I can share links that explain how to do this too, and give its own chart. For the numerical value of the names. Any questions on the destiny number? I see a few coming through. Oh, no worries, Candy. I got you. Well, that's a good idea. Anyone who's doing on a phone, you can try turning it sideways. Yep, Amanda, you got it. That's it. Perfect. That's exactly it. You just keep reducing down until you get a single number. Perfect. And Gail, that's exactly what we're doing here. That's all this is. It's a chart where you literally every 9 numbers start over at 1 again. So yeah, if you count the alphabet by 9, that's the numerical value for that letter. Awesome. Very good. Oh, good. Sometimes I've been in, oh man, I've been in conventions before where someone's tried to explain numerology before and it did not go well. Everyone was really confused. So I'm so glad that everyone here seems to be getting it. But if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. All right. So I'll go ahead and I'll start sharing some of the basic qualities of the numbers 1 through 9 and the 3 master numbers. Now, these are very high level just for the sake of the show. There are some resources, numerology.com. There's a whole website with a bunch of free resources there that's really fun to play around with. But they actually have an entire article dedicated to each number. So if you want to learn more about how these numbers and traits apply specifically to your life path and destiny number, or if you just want to learn more about the numbers in general, I highly recommend numerology.com. Good question. Where did you go? Good question, Michelle. It's not for each name. It's going to be your entire name as a string. So like if we go back to, give me 1 second to show you this. So here's Amy Lynn Ness's name all together. And in this example, we've got the numerical values for each letter for the entire name. Amy, Lynn, and then Ness. And we're just adding it all to one number. And then reducing that 46 down to 4 plus 6. And keep reducing it that way until you get one number. Yeah, Jennifer, I get that. I do. Yep, middle names too. However your name is listed on your birth certificate is what you're going to want to calculate for tonight. For that, I had to post that twice. That cracked me up. I get it. It's like calisthenics for the brain. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna keep this this chart up for a little while, just as we're finishing up. But I'm going to go ahead and start just going through the numbers and some of their high qualities. And remember, numerology.com is a great resource if you want to learn more in depth about your number specifically. So our number ones, and this is applicable to both your life purpose and your destiny. It'll take a little bit of interpretation to determine how these traits apply to each. Keep in mind, again, your life path is about revealing your greater purpose in this lifetime. Some of the themes and experiences that you may be involved in during this lifetime. Whereas your destiny is going to explain or describe how you express yourself for your life path. So number ones are independent, goal-oriented, innovative, and it's all about leadership. So if you have a life path number one or destiny number one, that's some of the greater purpose themes that you're going to notice in this life, or how you choose to express yourself in that. For number two, our number twos are intuitive, unifying, influential. They're sensitive, and they thrive on cooperation. So this would all be like a lot of our social media influencers, anyone who is out there working to create unity and using their intuition. A lot of people in Psychics Unite might resonate with that as well. So our number threes are communicative, artistic. They're charming, they're self-expression. So my life path number three, that is some of the things that I'm going to, or I have seen unfold for my destiny, or I'm sorry, in my life purpose for this lifetime. And so the whole idea of me getting into truth bumps fits directly into this. For my example. So the artistic, the communication, the self-expression, those are your number threes. Number fours are practical. They're loyal, service-oriented, organized, honest, and hardworking. So any number fours out there in your life path or destiny numbers, You're very down to earth, very loyal, honest, organized, practical, service oriented. So you're caring for others, or you're asking yourself, how can I help others? And you're very hardworking. And so then our number fives are curious, adaptable, social, adventure, change, and freedom. So I'm going to remove this for now. Let me know if anybody needs that chart back up. I'll put it back up. It just seems like a talking slide. And I wanted to put my face back up here because I'm a number 3 and I'm all about expression. So number 5s are curious, adaptable, social, adventure, change, and freedom. So our number 5s are going to be probably looking for ways to experience new things, ways to do things better, and still apply their sense of freedom. Oh, good, Candy. That's great. Awesome. Yep, feel free to do that. Very good. So number 6s, any 6s in the house, they are supportive, protective, romantic. They have a sense of responsibility, and they seek out harmony. So any of us that are 6s, didn't I say? I'm going to just do a double check. No, I've got an 11. So then I guess just to back up as an example, well, we'll say that toward the end. Yes, I can go over 2 again because that is my destiny number, and I missed that. So let me make one path through, and then I'll go over any numbers that anybody would like to hear more about. So hold on to that too. And then I'll use my destiny and life purpose numbers as an example on how to apply these. So Amanda, that's a great question. It's hard to say because I'm getting different answers in my research. So 33 is a master number. Yes, I would look out, and I'll cover 33 here in a minute. So make a note of what 6 means, and then compare it to 33 against your life path or your destiny number. And whichever resonates more, I think is going to be your answer. Because I'm getting conflicting information on whether master numbers apply to the life path number or not. So again, 6s are supportive, protective, romantic. They're responsible, and they seek out harmony. Number 7s are spiritual. They're curious, analytical, learning, and are all about observation. And so for me personally, those are some traits that resonate with me. And I would, what I'll probably do in my own time is go back and calculate some of the other numerology equations to see if 7 shows up for me anywhere, because I'm spiritual and then curious and analytical. It doesn't matter. They resonate. They didn't show up for either. 7 didn't show up in either my destiny or my life path number tonight, but I'm curious to see if they would show up anywhere else. So 8s are ambitious, karmic, enduring, successful. They have an air of authority, and they have a strength about them. So that enduring or that determination is their strength. Karmic, to define that better, that's a sense of, how we treat ourselves or how we treat others. There's a relationship there. It doesn't mean that they have karma coming to them. It just means they understand the balance of respect in the universe and, loving ourselves and how we love others. Yes, 11 is a master number 2. So 11, 22, and 33 are the master numbers. And so then, Candy, the houses are in astrology. So in astrology, our astrological signs are positioned in the houses. Now, I think the astrological houses are different than the numerology, because I believe the astrology, I forget what number of houses they go up to, but it's beyond 9. And each house in astrology does have its own traits and qualities, but it would be different than what we're talking about here tonight. All right, so now finally, number 9s. Our 9s are awakening. They're tolerant, they're supportive, they may have experience idealism and compassion. So these, I think, are a lot of our spiritual awakeners. A couple weeks ago, when I talked about dimensional consciousness, you may see a lot of 9s in charts, people who are going through consciousness and awakening. So 9s awakening, tolerant, supportive, idealism, and compassion. Now, the 3 master numbers, for any of us who have master numbers, this is where I encourage you to do a comparison. So my life path number is a 3, but my destiny number is an 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare both the 11 and 2 and see which one is, a little bit more informational for me or resonates more with me. So our master numbers 11 are enlightened, receptive, and charismatic. Yeah. And then our master number 22 is disciplined, capable, and successful. And then our master number 33 is nurturing, altruistic, and wise. So those are the numbers 1 through 9, and our master numbers 11, 22, and 33. Now, there was a request to go back to number 2, and I will. Number 2 is intuitive, unifying, influential, sensitive, and all about cooperation. So how can they assist? How can they facilitate? If there's a group working with a bigger goal, how can they support that cooperation in the group? So now, how to apply these to your life path and destiny numbers. So the life path, the greater purpose, -3, communicative, artistic, charming, and self-expression. So it could be said that I'm personally looking for ways to express the information that I have, to communicate. I do write. And I write in different styles. Over my experiences over my lifetime, and they have been challenging, but my experiences over my lifetime I can see now where they have honed my communication skills. So my speaking skills, my writing skills. So like as a child, I was a really bad speller. I spelled very poorly. And in hindsight, I was never tested, but I probably should have been, like, looking into maybe some kind of dyslexia or something like that. Or my favorite theory is that I've just had so many past lives on alien planets that the English language is just really foreign to me. That's the one I'm personally going with. But the first job I had after high school was working for a pharmaceutical company. And let me tell you, there's no better way to learn how to spell correctly than working with medical names and terminology and prescription drug names, and how to pronounce those. And so that's just an example of where communication in my life path 3 has shown up for me. And kind of tailored that around. So Jennifer asks -3. Sorry, I don't understand. I'm just kind of all I'm doing right now is I'm just reviewing the number 3 qualities toward my life path number as an example on how to apply that for everyone else. No, Michelle, I haven't heard of this. That sounds fascinating. I have studied briefly Chinese astrology, or not astrology, but Chinese horoscopes compared to Western horoscopes, and I find that equally as fascinating because I'm a horse and a Leo, and I see qualities and traits in both of those for me. So I'd be interested to hearing more about that if you have any resources or if anyone else has heard about this. That's I didn't even that's fascinating. Yeah, I like the alien planet thing too. Like it just doesn't make it makes more sense to me. So there may be a miscommunication. I don't remember saying that, but we don't want to do life path number -3. There's no -3. Mine is 3. My life path number is 3. So all I'm doing now is I'm just as an example because I'm trying to give you guys an example on how to apply the qualities to the life path number, just reviewing how the qualities for life path number 3 have shown up for me. Very cool. Thank you. I'll have to check that out, Michelle. That's awesome. So with a life path number 3 for me, the communication, the artistic, and the charming self-expression. Now, I want to bump that up against the destiny number that I got, which is 11. So that could be 11 or that could be 2. So if life path is the themes that I'm going to see, the destiny number is how I'm going to express myself through communication, artistic, charming, and self-expression. And so for 11, I will be expressing myself through enlightenment, through receptivity, and charisma for a destiny number 11. So, hey, no worries. I just, because it's hard. So every week on this show, I'm like, okay, Spirit, what do you want me to talk about? And numerology came up. Angel numbers came up, and I'm like, okay, well, let's just do it. I'm going to trust it. And then you get to it in practice. You're like, oh, I'm literally giving a math class. I'm like, I'm not trained for this. So no problem. I'm glad to clarify. So how did you guys feel about the life path and the destiny numbers? How did that resonate with you? Or what did you learn about yourself tonight or experience tonight in those calculations? I have just a little bit more I want to cover on angel numbers, and then we'll be good. All right. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very good. That's awesome, Michelle. I know I plan on going back and doing some more reading on mine, like, ooh. Yeah. Gail, that's funny. And so when we review angel numbers, see if there's a message there for you for the repeating eights. And Jen Hodgson was actually of Simply Spirit was actually sharing with me the other day. There's a certain calculation, I think, with your name that if you pick out the number that shows up the most, that also means something, but I don't have that information with me. We'd have to go out and take a look and try and find what that calculation is, what it means, and how to make sure that we're doing it. Interesting. We've got a couple who have the same. Not impossible at all. I think it's similar to having the same astrology sign for your sun sign and your rising sign. Like I'm a Leo sun, Leo rising. I love it. I used to rock out to that album. That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you. My pleasure. Very good. Wonderful comments, guys. I'm so glad. Awesome. Well, feel free. I know it's difficult to juggle all the calculations. like here live, feel free to go back and just do a double check on the calculations. What I'll do on Devin Evans Psychic Medium, I'll do a numerology post later on tonight. It'll be up late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And it'll kind of recap what we did here today. You can always refer back to that and double check your arithmetic and post all your questions to that post too, if you'd like. Okay. So a few minutes left and we've got angel numbers. Now that we have a really good basic understanding of numerology, angel numbers are those numbers throughout the day that we see in repeating patterns. Now tonight we're just going to cover some really high-level basics for angel numbers 1 through 9. So your 111s, 222s, 333s, yada, yada, yada. Angel numbers, when you see repeating numbers over and over and over again, that's like your angels saying, and your spirit guides, it's like they're saying, hey, pay attention to this message. And each number, just like in numerology, they kind of pull from those traits and those qualities in numerology. So repeating angel numbers 11 or 111. So you might see 1111, or you might see 11 3 times that day, any multiple times that catch your eye. This is all about inviting you to manifest. So you're in a place, in a space where your angels and your guides are saying, hey, the energy is really good, that you can manifest your thoughts into reality very quickly. Angel 222 or 2222 or 222. That is a spiritual signal that your life is out of balance in some way. So it just either could be mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. You could be working too much or worrying too much. I know I'm quite guilty of this at times. I also think I want to add the caveat here. Our angel numbers are also very personal to us in our guides. So like there have been times in my life where I've seen 22 or 222 multiple times, and it didn't feel like it was because something was out of balance. It just felt more like my guides and my angels were saying, hi, we're here. So again, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. There's no judgment or rules, no right or wrong or rules to any of this. So angel numbers 333 could be called that you're trying to recognize your life purpose. So that, the unique gifts that you were born to in this world, this could be a message that they want you to start actualizing them and maybe, committing to it. So it's very much like me about 4 or 5 years ago when I said, oh my God, I am psychic and I'm going to be a psychic. I'm going to offer psychic readings for people, and I want to be a spiritual teacher for people. And so that they can have this deeper relationship with themselves. The moment that I started doing that would have been about the time that I would have been seeing 333. Angel number 444, which is one that I see a lot now of days, that I'm on the right path. So even if I don't know it, or even if there's a time where it feels iffy, like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, or this doesn't feel right, seeing those repeating fours are your guides and your angels' way of saying, we're right here with you. We're always around you. Don't give up. Keep showing up. You're on the right path. And then your repeating fives is a single that whatever that change that you've been looking for, it's coming. It's on the way. So again, one of those things where don't worry about how it's going to happen. Don't worry if it's unfolding, because it is. And the how, the who, the what, that's all in the universe's hands. Just kind of have faith. So you're repeating sixes. I think in modern traditional Christianity, 666 gets a very bad rap. But actually in angel number meetings, it means that you might be giving too much of yourself. So similar to 222, there could be a mental, physical, or emotional imbalance that you just kind of want to be aware of. So your repeating sevens is one of the is considered like a sacred number. It could signify like a spiritual evolution. with you. So I think comes back to that dimensional consciousness. Like if you're awakening, having some of the traits of that, a 7 from numerology, where you're starting to shift from third to fourth to fifth dimensions and becoming aware of some of these greater concepts in spirituality and how they apply to you in the universe. Your repeating eights indicates an increased abundance. So earlier in the angel numbers, we had that the time was right for manifesting. Our repeating eights are saying that you have the propensity to attract abundance right now. So any obstacles that might be in your way, it doesn't matter. They're all going to kind of pass relatively easily for that abundance to come in. And then your repeating nines is all about, so nines is at the end, so it could be that a chapter is completing, which is allowing a new one to unfold. So it's a message that you're closing one story in your life, or you're coming to the end of one story in your life so that the new one can start. All right. And so again, angel numbers, those repeating numbers, they're messages from our guides and angels. They are connected to numerology and all the vibrations that are there in those single digits and the master numbers that are just showing up in a little bit different way. One resource I personally love for angel numbers, because it covers all repeating number patterns, not just the ones through nines. Nope, give me 1 second. Because I am always so prepared. Like, I'm always right on top of it. It's called Sacred Scribes Angel Numbers.blogspot.com. And I'll put that in my informational post that I leave on Devin Evans Psychic Medium Facebook. I like that because it literally lists 1 through 999,000 or 9,999. And it gives the qualities or the messages behind what the angels are trying to say. And I really like, that's a resource that I've used for years now, the better part of a decade. Anytime that I'm going through and a number keeps catching my eye more than once or twice, especially more than twice, I'll pop over there and see if there's any messages there that resonate. And 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, I can't believe that that's the message, because that is so applicable. So we are at the end of our time tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed the information and the exercises here. Feel free to reach out to me if at any time you have any questions on this material or anything else. You can reach me at Devin Evans Psychic Medium on Facebook. Just search for that and I'll come right up. I'm also at devinevans.com. And tomorrow, please return here for Greg Koss in the Shadow Hour. And then we will begin a whole new week of new material on Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigation and Events Facebook page. So on Monday nights, we have our Psychics Unite all chapter meeting. If you're interested in attending that and learning more about psychic abilities and how they apply to you, it's a very fun and fabulous group of loving people. And it's always a great time. Every Monday night, 6:30 Central. The meeting details are on psychicsunite.com. And then Tuesday nights, we have Oracle Card Tuesdays with Sharon. She is an amazing Oracle card reader, certified in angel Oracle card readings. And every Tuesday night, she offers sample readings as a gift. Wednesday nights are Scotty Rourke Talks About. Amazing psychic medium Scotty Rourke has these amazing guests on, very informative. Thursday nights are me here with Truth Bumps with Devin Evans. And Friday night, Shadow Hour with Greg Koss. I thank you, everyone. Please have an amazing evening, a wonderful weekend. Oh, and don't forget our great friend Jen Hodgson. She has her show every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central, on Simply Spirit. Jen Hodgson's psychic medium. Her show Simply Spirit. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Woo! I'm gonna pack it in. I'm gonna make a cup of tea and run my numerology. I just got a little Dr. Seuss on you. All right. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Take care. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.